Hey event people, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Federica from Rock's Event Staff, and today we're going to talk about 5 skills that you can learn from COVID-19. How to apply them to your business. You will find them useful in all kinds of situations. Of course, from the human perspective, not everyone is ready to step in such a different world, and that's okay. But before diving deeper into our video, if you like event news, top tips about events, to stay up to date to what's happening in the event industry, please subscribe to our channel. And if you would like the content of this video, please give us a like. I'm very excited about this video, so let's dive straight into it. When I'm stepping into a new life challenge, I try to remind myself that we normally learn the most from our challenges and not the easiest parts of our life. So the first skill we're going to talk about is diversity. That's right. We heard about diversity a lot in the past few weeks, and we can learn so much from the current situation, from the COVID situation, about diversity. Because we've all been facing this huge reality. We are all human. We are all the same. Right now, we learned to work in a different way, and we learn to look beyond the obvious, basically. We all deserve to be treated equally. So when we look at diversity applied into business, do we normally ask ourselves questions like, have we considered the personal experiences of this person whenever we are hiring maybe someone new? Or for example, for a woman that maybe had kids and she's coming back to work, what kind of values and skills can she offer in addition to someone else? Diversity can be applied to business whenever you hire someone, not just based on their skills, but especially on their personalities and passions. If you think about it, skills can be taught, but attitude can't. That's why business leaders and managers should really look into the hiring process and try to identify the strategy and if there is any prejudice, because that will make your business so much less than it could actually be. You could find out some amazing skills that people has that you had no idea they could do. Everyone is the same, and you should get to know your people, focus on your people, care for your people, and develop your people. A very interesting article that I read recently on theguardian.com that talks about diversity is this article that explains how blind auditions are eliminating gender bias on orchestras auditions. How crazy is that? Could we see this replicated in some businesses? Is your company diversified enough? What did you learn from the COVID-19 crisis? So this was diversity in the workplace. Let's go to our second skill of this video, love in the workplace. Beyond looking for engagement, we should put love in our workplace. Have you ever thought about it? Caring and valuing people. Is it not similar to when we are in love with someone? We are all going through the same situation. We are all in this together, so we should care for each other, value each other, and understand each other. You see, that way we can come out of this stronger and more resilient than before. I love the word resilient because in just one single word, it explains how we can go through a challenging time of our life and become a better person, basically. So if we are nice people and we care for others, customers may want to come back, your staff will want to stay working with you, and they would even perform better. In the past few months, we learned love in the workplace from the COVID-19 situation because we challenged the way we work, the way we think, the way we work with other people. We started thinking about what kind of persons we are, what kind of persons we want to become, and how can we get the best out of our staff. Our Western world struggles with this idea of caring of connecting with other people. It's mainly based, unfortunately, sadly, more than unfortunately, on performance and numbers. And not everyone is comfortable to bring love to the workplace. Love in the workplace, I know it may sound like a hippie quote maybe, but if you think about it, it could really change many things. People would love to work in that kind of environment, and customers will notice that as well. And eventually, if you maybe don't like your job, you may find it completely different. We can all agree that we can all make an effort to bring our love to our workplace. However, sometimes, you have to work with other people too, so they should do the same efforts. And when working with managers as well, that will bring us to our third skill, vulnerable leadership. You don't hear that often, right? It sounds controversial. A vulnerable leader? Yes. That's why this video is particularly directed to business leaders and managers or supervisors, because you are set to give the example to your company and to your team and your workers. We're all humans, we all have emotions and feelings, so mind psychology and thinking are areas that every leader should better understand to know ourselves first and our people, which automatically will be translated into business. It surely takes a lot of effort and teamwork. During this COVID-19 crisis, we surely have seen that humans are capable of change. Isn't that true? So why can't that be the norm? I believe that if you open to others, others will open to you. And that will improve performance as well. So we can apply these human skills to our businesses. As a business leader myself, I understand sometimes the pressure. You should put the suit on, put the mask on, and perform in a way. But whenever a leader does that, you're not authentic. If you're not authentic, how can you lead business and perform at the best at your possibilities? If we are authentic, we surely are original. There is no one else like us. We can only be the best version of ourselves and be authentic. And people will recognize that. In your workplace, do you feel comfortable enough to share and be vulnerable with your co-workers? Let us know in the comments below. Our next skill, it's what it's required, especially for vulnerability and love in the workplace. And this skill is courage. The world is changing and people is buying from people. Business leaders, supervisors, managers, they should first be themselves and then talk about targets and goals. As a leader, you should want to constantly evolve. So if you have a corporate rigid kind of leading, that's absolutely fine. But remember that whatever you do as a leader will reflect on the team and on the company. So based on that, you should think about the kind of way you want your company and your team to be. Remember, the biggest change in your company and in your team is to talk to them on a human level. So why not? Give yourself a chance and be authentic. I know it may sound scary, but we all have strengths, and that brings us to our final skill of this video. This is, do not miss people's strengths. I know it's not really a skill by definition, but I couldn't help it. I had to add it on our list here. This is something that we thought about a lot during this COVID situation. You see, business leaders, managers, supervisors should not miss out on the opportunity of people's strengths. We should not miss out on good talent, especially if that's based on prejudice. Business leaders could take this into reality by fairness, transparency, blocking of prejudice, and equality. I know we've been using a lot of big words in this video, but it's very simple. Just talk to people more. Find out what they're interested in, what makes them alive and enthusiastic. What are their passions? How do they like to spend their free time? These are just a few of the questions that we ask people when we hire them. especially because if they don't have anything they're passionate about and enthusiastic about, how can they be passionate and enthusiastic about their job? So in this video, we talked about all this, and in conclusion, we can say that we should worry more about the attitude and the passions of people instead of their skills. As we said at the beginning of this video, skills can be learned, but attitude can't. So let's ask the right questions. If your business has a set of values, you should look for those values in the people you're hiring. So let's challenge each other. Let's share those values. And remember, those same values come from the top, so from leaders, managers, and supervisors. Once we've done that, we should be proud of it. It takes time, it's not easy. That doesn't mean that it's not possible, as we've seen in this current situation of COVID. Diversity, love in the workplace, vulnerability, courage, and even people's strengths are all behaviors. So it's obvious that it takes time and it's not easy. What we are talking about here is changing your own culture, your own way of looking at things, your own way of working. It doesn't mean that you have to promote everyone to the top level to hear their voices and see those changes, although these changes come first from the top to see that in the rest of your company. But you can just hear their voices, talk to them, as we said, ask simple questions, know the people you work with. If we gather the right insight from the right people, your business will click and go to the next level. So that's all from me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, or if you know anyone that might benefit from it, please share it with them. And if you would like to share with us your experience of what you've learned during this COVID past few months, please let us know that in the comments below. We would love to hear that from you. And finally, if you would like to watch our next videos coming up about the event industry, event news, how to work from home, and everything that is related to events, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell for notifications whenever we upload new content. Thank you, and see you soon.